Welcome to Truly Rotten Potatoes, Australia's best Aussie hip-hop show where we talk about all the Aussie hip-hop that's been Aussieing out of its hip-hop hole. I'm here, I'm Declan, or MC Declan as they call me, and I'm here with MC Mitchy G.
Goes money.
And it's me, Suffer from the Hilltop Hoods. Good to be back on the show, boys.
Gunshots for all, and you can have one too. And wait, hold on. This isn't a hip-hop show. This is a movie show where we watch films.
What you talking about, Willis?
Well, then what am I doing here?
Suffer, get out of here. Go back to the Hilltop Hoods of Adelaide.
Okay, I will. But hang on. There's got some kind of bird in my way. It's a swan.
Does he sing? Is that a line from one of his songs?
He says, I'll make origami of your lyrics.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Suffer, what is it?
It's a swan.
Hey,
Remember from the Nosebleeds?
oh, okay, yeah. Good one.
Maybe it's not from the Hill. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, we've also
Hey guys, how are you?
got Hayden Quinn from the podcast here today.
Hi guys, it's me, Hayden Quinn. I'm very pleased.
And it's been a long time since we've got behind the mics and just really bared our souls and talked about movies with 0%. What's been happening, guys? Why haven't we done an episode in like 4 months?
I've been really, really busy. I feel like we've all been really, really busy, right?
Yeah.
This show
I
is a marathon. This show takes a lot of working out. And we did it for a long time and it wore our bodies to the ground.
That's that is a component of it. This is a physically taxing. You think it's just mentally taxing, but it adds up and starts. You start withering away.
They don't call it Australia's toughest podcast for no reason.
Yes,
and we did it, valiantly for months on end, and then it fucking killed us.
Yeah.
That's how I got COVID.
I got COVID from this podcast too.
It was kind of nice watching one of these films again, though. It was sort of, oh man, it was a good one.
It was one to come back to.
So often they'd be terrible, but every now and then you get one where you're just like, man, this is actually fucking very entertaining. This one was something else, I tell you that.
And it's weird to watch a movie that is going to be bad because I've been watching like a lot of good movies for the past few months. This is a movie called Left Behind. I believe some people say it came out 2014, some say 2015.
Oh, is that old?
It stars Nic Cage as a pilot in an aeroplane where while on a trip from America to London, the Rapture happens, which seems to mainly affect young children who disappear and also some adults, but like maybe 1 out of every 30 that we see. Maybe it's there's like 2 people on the plane who disappeared that aren't kids.
Now, what is the Rapture? I
can tell you what the rapper is. It's me, Suffer, MC.
Yo, I'm the Rapture. I'm the rapper. Hey, there's got to be a rapper whose name is the Rapture, right?
I'm sure of it.
Yeah. Shout outs to him.
Shout out Rapture. Do we have any air horns?
I have a aerotone. So if you say the wrong thing, I can go.
Okay.
It's almost like an air horn, isn't it? So yeah, this is a Christian movie. This is all about religion and being a good Christian little boy. And
being a good Christian boy.
And it's based on a book or a series of books, the Left Behind series. I believe a few movies have been made from these books. I'm not really sure how the rights work. But yeah, the guy who wrote this movie and somehow got it made is currently working on a sequel that is coming out this year. Now, Hayden, this is true. They've taken an actor called Kevin Sorbo, who was most famous for playing Hercules in the TV series Hercules.
I remember that guy.
Live action Hercules. And then he's probably more famous now for being like a very ardent right-wing Christian,
Twitter
pro-Trump, anti, he would call the Democrats the demon rats or something like that.
So not only is he on the right side of history, he's smart too.
He's clever.
Yeah.
And he's not only starring in the sequel to this movie where he plays Nicolas Cage's character, the pilot, but he's also directing this movie. So he's taken on, and I guess it's been nearly 8 years, since this one came out. And this one wasn't a huge hit. Obviously, critically, it got a 0%, hence it falling onto our Bible.
Bit of a shame.
Yeah, but it did make probably just enough money for them to eventually decide to make another one. And there was all these rights issues about whether they had the rights to the sequel books or whether he only had the first one. But anyway, it looks like this year there might be another version of this movie coming out.
What was it called? Rise of the Antichrist?
Called
Left
Rise of the
Behind
Antichrist, which sounds way cooler. Like, I kind of want to see that. I feel like the Antichrist
Sounds
is
like
just going
a
to be
Marvel
a
film.
Democratic politician, though.
Yeah, it's going to be...
A guy in a blue tie who's like, I want to take away your guns and abort all your babies.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling it's going to be like, they'll get a lovely Christian woman. They'll get Reba to play like Hillary Clinton.
Reba McEntire from the show Reba.
Have you guys seen the Mexican version of that show?
No?
Mexican Reba? Is that real?
Is it
Yeah,
Arriba?
that's what it is, yes.
I'm sorry.
You got me.
So this movie was...
So wait. This was so two questions. The
Yeah.
first one is, did we just watch the next movie in this chronology of our list?
yeah, it was one of the next ones.
Yes.
Yeah, we were up
Okay,
there.
cool.
We might have skipped one or two, but it's not
All
like
right.
we jumped really far ahead.
Nice. Okay. And then the second question is, was this legitimately like for the Christian film market? Like was
I think so.
It
yeah.
has to be.
Yeah.
It really... I mean, it's
It
not
did still
written-
come out in cinemas, but I think in the
because
same
I
way...
wasn't sure until I don't know. Well, I obviously still wasn't sure because I just asked you, but I had no idea what this film was about. So not going into it and not realizing that it was a Christian film, at the point where it all started to turn, I think probably not until the last 15, 20 minutes, I was like, oh, is this a Christian film?
Well, this is the point I figured
weird.
it out. So it was Left Behind as the title.
Yeah.
And you've got sort of all these characters start coming in, being introduced. Nicolas Cage is sort of looking at his wedding ring and flirting with a flight attendant. Well,
Well, so he's separated from his wife, and his wife is very Christian, and they make fun of her, or her own daughter is critical of just how Christian she's become. And Nicolas Cage is like freshly separated, I guess. So he doesn't wear his wedding ring while flying, and he's starting the burgeoning part of a relationship with one of his flight attendants, who is kind of way too attractive to be even in this movie, like distractingly. Clearly, she's an Australian actress as well. Me and Mitch recognized her as Nikki Whelan. And she has that look of
What's
like...
she in? Because I recognized her as well, but I couldn't think of who she was.
she's a soap actress. I don't know. Let's go Neighbours. I think Neighbours is safe to say.
I think that's... Yeah, I'm not 100%
Google
sure on
her.
that, but I think you'd almost have to have been on Neighbours, which is about to end as well, 37 years.
Oh,
Rest in
R.I.P.
peace.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just doing the big finale at the moment. They brought back Guy Pearce and Kylie Minogue, but I don't know if Nikki Whelan got a call up. She's in the movie Hall Pass. Have you seen Hall
Okay.
Pass?
Have no seen that.
It's a comedy from 2011 with Owen Wilson and Jason Sudeikis, and the premise is that they're not very happy sexually in their relationship. They're kind of like, middle-aged-ish, 40-ish or whatever, and they have a hall pass, which their partner allows them to have sex with someone else. And Nikki Whelan is like one of the hot blonde babes in that movie.
Okay.
We did look her IMDb up. She has a couple of small roles in kind of bigger films, and she's still acting a lot, and they're mainly in like Hallmark TV movies. So Christmas movies, a few kind of like thriller horror-y, like The Lady Across the Street type movies.
Yeah, like
about
cheap
murders in
shit.
suburbia and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she was great.
Yeah, she's doing an American accent. She does an okay job at that, and she's distractingly attractive to the point where the whole time I'm just like, it just looks like you've brought someone who's a model.
Sorry, is Stephen Merchant in Hall Pass?
Yeah.
Might be, yeah.
He is. Oh, that's weird. Anyway,
He's
sorry.
too tall for that movie.
Yeah.
Back to the movie we watched. Yep. So she's a flight attendant. Nicolas Cage is like having a fling with her, even though he's still married to his wife, who's crazy because she's gone crazy with God fever.
Yeah.
With Jesus fever. Let's say she's cheating on her husband with Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They don't really say if they're sleeping together yet, Nicky Whelan and Nic Cage.
No, they do. They do. Nothing's happened yet, but they're going to London
to see you too.
To hang out.
To see you too.
Yeah.
So Bono can watch them consummate.
So they they have a thing where Nicky Whelan's talking to one of the other flight attendants, and she's like, she's laughing at one of Nic Cage's jokes, which isn't a joke. It's just a story about like being on a plane. And it's like, hey, I told you, the punchline that you see at the end of this anecdote is like, hey, I told you there was only one carry-on bag. And then Nicky Whelan laughs, and the other person's like, that's a really lame joke. And then that's how you know that
we
they're
later
together.
find out that person gets saved and sent to heaven during the rapture. So, obviously we're meant to side with her and not find that joke funny. She's righteous. And
maybe it was like an offensive joke. Anyway, Nicky and Nick, we got Whelan and Cage have a relationship. They're not cheating on each other. They're not cheating on their husbands or anything. They're just like liking each. They've got a bit of a work crush thing going on, and they're deciding like we're going to go to London together at the end of this trip, at the end of this flight that we have to do for work, and then that's when we'll kind of like start the relationship. They nearly kiss at one point, but and then he interrupts it to show her that he got her sweet tickets, and then she's looking at the tickets, and then he gets all kind of forlorn, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "I just thought they'd be like better seats, like a bit closer to the stage," which was quite funny. I don't really know why Nic Cage was in this movie. It didn't have a huge budget. Supposedly it was about $15-16 million. And most of the movie, you can see that it's quite a cheap movie. But they do try and like do a plane landing at the end. And I guess that's where the money goes.
Well, okay. So back to where you can definitely tell it's a Christian movie is at the beginning. Chloe Steele, which is Nic Cage's daughter in the movie. Yeah, that's not the actress's name. That's just
the character's name.
She spots Chad Michael Murray from One Tree Hill fame.
Yes, and he's playing a character called Cameron Williams, aka Buck
Williams.
Which I think is there a porn actress called or porn actor?
That's Buck Angel.
Buck Angel,
and that's the transgender male porn actor who.
And so Chad Michael Murray is not in this movie a transgender porn actor.
That's never confirmed or denied.
Maybe that's why he
just don't bring it
didn't
up.
go to heaven.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's approached at the beginning by a woman who. So I can't remember how it starts, but she's like, "Have you read the Bible?"
Yeah, he's in the airport lounge.
Did you guys say that he's like a somewhat famous like newsreader or like a
investigative reporter? Yeah,
investigative reporter. So that's why this woman comes up to him and is like, "Hey, have you read the Bible?" Because he's famous and he's doing autographs and stuff, and she thinks she can get her piece in there.
Yeah, and then as they're having a conversation about whether God is responsible for like floods and earthquakes, Chloe Steele, Nic Cage's daughter in the movie, who is she's like mid to late 20s. She's not young, right? She walks in and she's like, excuse me, are you telling me that God is responsible for floods? If so, why wouldn't he, and just kind of does like...
Yeah, like a debate lord kind of thing, being like, well, actually, why would God be real if babies get drowned?
Yeah, and I guess she's meant to represent like the annoying atheist who's like, let me come in here with my logic and try and trip you up so you don't believe what you believe. And then because of that, Chad Michael Murray and her have like a nice flirtatious, in the little airport coffee shop, get to know each other conversation. And it happens a couple of times. The movie does not get started for probably 25 minutes. Like, it really extends the intro for a long time, and it's not that short of a movie. It was like 1 hour 50.
It was almost 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be. They really thought we were like interested in these characters when we just wanted to see what was going to happen on this plane.
I do like how after that they go to have like a coffee together in the lounge. They have a full conversation. He says goodbye to her because she spots her dad. Then she goes
and talks to her dad.
Yeah,
and then she comes back to a coffee shop on her own, and she happens to be sitting like back to back with Chad Michael Murray.
No, I think he was at that coffee shop. She brings her dad to the coffee shop. He says goodbye, but then he sits at the table behind her so she can't see him. So as soon as her dad leaves, she just turns around and she's like, "Oh, you're here," and then she goes and sits at his table.
And he's like, "I overheard everything. I
I'm
now
an investigative
understand.
reporter.
Yeah, your relationship with your dad." And then she's like, "Okay." She sits back with him, and they have like another get to know each other, meet cute conversation.
And so she's flown into town to be there for his birthday, her dad's birthday, but he just has to work, so he actually has to fly out, and this is how they cross paths. She's just flown in, he's flying out, they're in the airport together, and she's pissed because, I don't know, her mum's gone crazy with God fever, and her dad's flying away for his birthday, and is the family falling apart? I don't know.
Unfortunately, it is, and I think that among the Christian right wing in America, the dissolution of the nuclear family is one of the things that they see as like a loss of Christianity, a loss of community, a loss of like what it is to be American.
The American way.
Yeah. So I think that's what that represents. They're looking at this family crumbling apart, and it's not crumbling apart because of like drugs and immigration, and it's just because one person has gone a little too horny for Jesus, and the other one is like, I'm a pilot. I have to like fly.
I've been up there in the sky. There's no God. I fly past those clouds every day.
Yeah. One believes in the man in the clouds, and one is like, that's my work, and he ain't there. When we say it's a Rapture movie, it's not like an apocalyptic fire and brimstone, devils walking among us.
It's this is the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just at one point, out of nowhere, during the flight, there's a flash, and 2 kids and 3 people on the plane are gone.
But it's like in a very comical way. And again, not knowing the premise of this film at all, when it got to that point, just seeing, so she's also got a younger brother
Called Raimi.
You know,
Yeah.
called what?
Raimi.
Raimi.
Raimi
Okay.
is the kid's name, which is not a
That's
first
fantastic.
And I'm not sure if he's meant to be like a little bit
Shit.
autistic,
Special.
or like, yeah.
name. Well, I mean, he's just kind of written in this way where he's like, well, what was his first line? Or
She brings him a present, and she brings him a baseball.
It's the
glove.
new baseball glove that I've been asking about.
Yeah. The classic exposition line. Hey, it's that new baseball glove that I've been asking about for ages and really hoping someone would get me. And then he walks into his mother or grandmother.
It's his mum.
It's his mum, who's the god lady, and he does the same thing. He goes, "Mom, look, my sister got me that baseball glove that I've been asking for," which just seems like a passive aggressive move.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's
so
a child. He's pure of heart, and he also disappears.
Yeah, so they go out and they're they're shopping together, the sister and brother, and it's all nice, and they're bonding over stuff, and they're talking about, is mum crazy? Is she, why is she like Jesus so much? How weird. Which again is part of the reason why I wasn't sure if it was like a Christian movie or not, because they're really fucking bashing their mother for liking God. Anyway,
But we're meant to be on the mother's side, I think. I
Yeah,
think the
really?
audience- yeah.
I just was like,
Because
this mother must
Christians
be
are the
crazy.
most, persecuted people. Everyone
Yeah,
judges them. They have
okay.
no,
They're the
they have
minority
no
now.
cultural cachet. Yeah,
No.
they're being minoritized by mass immigration and everything. So that we're meant to be the people who go like, oh, it's so bad the way they're treating her. She's right, and everyone else is being kind of mean about her.
Okay, I wasn't reading it that way. I was like, God, she must be really, really crazy or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're hanging out, and she's like, they're having a good time, and she's hugging her little brother. And then when the rapture occurs, it's fucking hilarious. It's like there's like a split second flash of light. She's holding on to her brother, and then suddenly she's just holding on to his clothes. Like it's like when you were playing around with VHS cameras as a kid in high school, you're like, oh, let's like pause the tape here,
Jump
and then
cut.
you go over there, and then we'll put clothes in you. It looked so lame, but they did it like they showed it on the plane and all these different scenarios where people just fucking disappeared.
Yeah.
Again, not knowing the context of the movie, I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
So there
What
are
is this
movies
movie?
like This Is the End, the Seth Rogen comedy movie, which came out a couple of years before before this, or maybe even around the same time.
I think it's around the same time.
But in that, it's like a beam of like white light shoots down and people float up, right? Which is like a little more traditional. But this is literally just like flash, they're gone, but their clothes remain. So if you're hugging your brother, you're now just hugging empty clothes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God,
it
where did
looked
he go?
comical. I mean, it probably wasn't helped by the fact that I was watching it at 1.5 speed, so everything looked a little bit funnier. Yeah, it's just.
And then to show the kind of the horror of like people disappearing around you, they do go back onto the plane and they just show like 3 shots of just like a pair of shorts on an empty airplane seat, and it's just not that horrifying. It just looks funny. It just looks like someone left their laundry out.
You just think about what's happening up in heaven. A fuck ton of naked people just popping into heaven. Like,
naked kids.
Can't they rock up wearing their clothes?
Yeah, I was saying to Mitch that in real life, when you get raptured, this isn't in the Bible. This is just what I know to be true, by the way. It's mainly just your skin and your soul that go. So all your organs and blood and stuff just gushes into like. So if you're hugging a child, you basically will think you popped them. Like you're just covered in organs.
I'm remembering where my head was at this point, actually, and yeah, no, I think for the following 40 minutes, I was like, gee, I wonder what happened. Like I genuinely was like, how are they going to explain this?
It
like,
is funny, yeah, because
like,
they never
what's happened?
They never quite, like 1 or 2 characters say like, I remember this from being in the Bible when I was a kid or something.
Yeah.
But there's no like preacher who's like, the rapture is upon us.
There's only the crazy woman at the beginning, right? Doesn't she allude to it?
Yeah.
That's the only time.
I think during that bit where the woman accosts them in the airport and starts talking about it, that was when Mitch was like, oh, is this going to be a Rapture movie? Yeah.
I just didn't. Should I have seen that? I don't know. I didn't see it coming, and it took me forever for it to click.
I got very excited once I realized what was happening. I was like, oh shit, we're doing it.
Yeah. And the thing is that it is quite a small movie in the sense that it doesn't go worldwide. It's just like a couple of characters still living their lives. There's no follow-up about like, you know, the kids were stage 1 and then the next people are it's just like, no. Whoever went has gone, and whoever didn't go was obviously not a good enough Christian. Obviously the mother character that we meet once does disappear. And so you've got 2 separate stories. Nic Cage on an airplane whose plot is, or his goal for the movie is now like, I have to safely manage this airplane. They have an interaction.
His co-pilot is gone.
His co-pilot disappears, and then he has a small collision with another airplane where both co-pilots have disappeared. So they're not dodging at all. And he doesn't dodge very well, and he kind of like skims his wing across this airplane. Sends them all to death, by the way. Anyone who's in that airplane crashes and dies.
And it was full.
Yeah,
you
except
see
for
it's
the two pilots. And then, so Nic Cage spends the rest of the movie being like, I have to land this plane. We're running out of fuel. You kind of classic stuff. And then down on the ground, his daughter is just like doing nothing. So her brother's disappeared. Her mother's disappeared. She gets super depressed. She walks around the shops. Some people have started looting clothes because obviously the second you see someone in your family member disappear in front of you, you go like, I got to go to Kmart. I've got to smash some windows. Like
people are stealing things out of the bags of people that had disappeared and looting their clothes and stuff.
That's the thing,
and cars are like smashing into buildings. Because whoever was driving the car disappeared, so it just keeps going and smashes into the shopping center and stuff.
Yeah. But it's not even mass damage. They find like one car that's smashed into a light pole, and a few people are like, looting the mall.
Oh, and when Chloe still goes to her car, it gets hit by a plane.
Oh yeah, a very small
plane.
What are they called? A beach plane or something?
Yeah,
it's just like one of those one-seaters, flies out from the sky and just lands in a car park and smashes into her car, which was a pretty cool shot.
Yeah, it went a bit better. By the way, we haven't talked about the other aspect, which is who's on Nic Cage's plane.
Yeah, that's a fantastic scene as you slowly get to meet all the cast of colourful characters on the plane that we'll get to spend the rest of the movie with.
Yeah. They do that in this big, probably half an hour before anything happens, where they're really laying down the track of you need to know every single one of these people on the plane. So who we got? We've got
Buck Williams.
Right. Handsome Chad Michael Murray, investigative reporter, star of One Tree Hill.
Has a Nick on camera.
And interviews people. And again, when they disappear, he brings his camera around to get like, exclusive footage, and he's literally just filming a seat with a pair of pants. There once was a human here, and now there's just pants and shirt.
Could this be happening everywhere?
Yeah. We've also got a kind of angry little person.
Yeah, there's an angry dwarf who is pretty racist coded. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, he's definitely judgmental of the little black girl that sits next to him, and also the Muslim guy that sits near him. And he's next to a large black male who does disappear, who's one of the only people on the plane to disappear.
Yeah, but his only conversation is that he's like, oh, thank you so much for upgrading me to first class. And he's like, don't be thanking me. If anything, the guy you were meant to be sitting next to, you should be thanking. And I'm like, is this a fat joke?
Yeah.
Is this why you got left behind?
It's also important to note that all the characters we meet are the ones in first class, and it does show the economy cabin as well, but we don't really get to know any of them, right?
No.
Maybe that'll happen in the sequel.
Yeah.
And then we get the elderly couple who is a nice old man and a woman with dementia.
And we know she has dementia because she looks at Chad Michael Murray and she says, does she say you look like Frank Sinatra, or hey, it's Frank Sinatra? Which is funny because he doesn't look like Frank Sinatra either way.
No.
So she's not. It's not like she's doing that thing where you kind of only remember your childhood and you think that you're in the 60s or something. She's like lost her eyesight as well.
She's gone crazy.
Yeah. That maybe the point is that her husband's just like, yeah, she's so far gone she can't even remember what Frank Sinatra looks like.
Well, unfortunately, he gets raptured away.
Yeah,
well, yeah, and she's being punished by God. That's why she's got dementia.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's not a good person. Otherwise, she'd be gone.
That's the sad part, isn't it? He's like, maybe God's like, look, I just don't really want people with dementia like walking around the gates of heaven.
They're not going to appreciate it. They'll be like, oh, I'm back at home. And he's like, no, you're in the kingdom of heaven.
Or he's like, I keep giving her the chance to repent and she can't even, not only does she not do it, she doesn't even remember Frank Sinatra.
We also have the Texan, wheeler and dealer businessman who's always out to make some money.
But he doesn't even have any dimension. No. He's not like evil oil baron or bad
Well,
corporatist.
Towards the end of the film, he admits that he didn't care enough for his kid, and he was always on the phone. He was never there for his child, and he was always too busy trying to get the next deal and stuff like this.
Well, that's a nice message. And so that guy is sitting next to an Asian guy who at first I thought was a government official because he says something like, he's like, soon they'll be able to have planes that can go hypersonic in 6 seconds across, LA to London. And then the guy's like, he mentions the Department of Defense, and the guy's like, oh, tell me about this Department of Defense. What are you talking about? And then he's like, yeah, man, I'm pretty sure they built it from alien technology. They reverse engineered it. And so you're like, is he just the alien guy, the conspiracy guy? Because he mentions Area 51. He doesn't have a lot of character besides that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just to introduce the idea that someone's got to have another idea than it's God.
Yeah, you need a couple of people to be throwing out concepts of what happened.
He was like, maybe we went through a wormhole, maybe I don't know, maybe it's aliens abducted everyone. Those are his ideas.
And then we have the Dominic Monaghan stand-in from Lost, who is just a drugged-up English person. The drugged-up English lady.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
I think he plays Merry or Pip in one of the two in The Hobbit, in the Lord of the Rings. But anyway, in the movie Lost, which is in the TV show Lost, in the pilot, they're all on a plane, and it similarly introduces you to all these characters. And Dominic Monaghan is a rock star who's a heroin addict, so he's runs out of heroin and stuff. They introduce this lady, who, where does she pull the heroin out of? She has it tucked away in something.
It's in some kind of tube. I don't know.
Was she getting a cigarette or something, and it's rolled up inside what? Yeah. Anyway, her whole thing is that she's a junkie. She wears sunglasses, so when she first walks on, I'm like, oh, she's like a billionaire or someone famous, and she's trying to keep a low profile. No, she's just got mascara everywhere because she's a heroin junkie, and her only thing she does in it is come out and say, I was when I went to Sunday school as a child or something. I think they talked about this. I think this is a religious thing.
But in what way was she able to connect that? Like, does it explicitly written out in the Bible that people will disappear and their clothes will remain on their seats? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I mean, what's
anyway,
the Rapture is like
I'm trying to poke holes in a fucking shit film. I don't
They
need an
definitely
answer.
believe
It's okay.
that Christ will rise again.
Well, it's not like a
Maybe I'm
Catholic
just
thing.
mad that I couldn't figure it out and she could.
yeah. You're like, wait, this junkie knows what's going on and I have no idea.
Well, the last character on the plane is Jordan Sparks,
Wait,
who has that
really?
song.
Was that Jordan Sparks?
That was Jordan
Oh,
Sparks.
that's funny.
From what? No Air.
Yeah, she was an American Idol, wasn't she?
She was the American Idol winner, and she has her daughter there, and her former partner is a basketball player. He's a famous sports player, yeah. Because
he plays for the Jets.
Yeah, because the dwarf character, he's just angrily staring at her daughter before the Rapture, and
he's staring at everyone, and also
every non-white person he's pretty hateful towards.
I mean, maybe this is offensive to say, but he was in first class, and those chairs are really big and comfy, and you get extra leg room, and I'm kind of like, he didn't really need that.
Well, I mean, he afford it. He could afford it.
Yeah, good on him.
He's angry. You know, life's got him down because he's a little person and it's been hard his whole life. And at one point he stands up like on a suitcase, on a chair to get to the overhead compartment. And he's very like, I'll do it myself. I've managed my whole life with this affliction. It's fine. Yeah. But he's also the comic relief at the same time. So like, it doesn't make sense. He's being painted as this guy who can stand up for himself, but they keep like making fun of him. They may as well put like boing sound effects and stuff when he bends over or falls over.
I mean, we'll get there, but especially at the end, that is true. That is.
Yeah, so he has that chip on his shoulder. Did you just remember?
Yeah, I just remembered. It got me good.
He has that I can do it myself, like I didn't ask for your help.
And
the nice Muslim character comes over while he's trying to reach up to put his bag in the overhead compartment, and a guy's like, "Oh, would you like me to help you with that?" And he's like, "Did I ask for your help?" And then he's kind of mean mugging everybody, and so he's sitting across the aisle from this little girl who's who and he says like, "What are you looking at?" or something, and then she's like, "I drew this picture of my dad. He's plays in the NFL." And then he's like, okay, what's his name? And then she starts going like, we have a dog, and the dog like flipped the hammock that my dad was on, and so he hurt his arm. So we're not sure if he'll be able to play this weekend, but if he does play, he'll be on TV. And then the guy's like, okay, and he just writes down on a piece of paper like, I'm gonna bet $3,000, I guess, in the team that is gonna play against his team because they're missing this star player. And then, some other characters
does he actually write that down? Does he write, I am going to bet $3,000?
He definitely says 3 Gs. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, the person next to him's like, "Oh, you a gambling man?" And he just says like, "Yeah." So I guess he's a piece of shit because he gambles on sports. I don't know if one player potentially having an injury is enough for you to be like,
"Oh, he's a gambling man. He doesn't care."
Yeah.
Gambling men don't care. And gambling men do not go to heaven.
Normally, player injuries are like known to the public anyway. It's not like a secret. Yeah. So I don't know if it's that much of an advantage. But anyway, that's how we know what kind of guy he is. The little kid disappears. The little black girl whose dad's a footballer, she disappears. The big black guy who's sitting next to the little person disappears. And like one or two, and the husband of the lady with dementia. Is that pretty much it?
Well, the guy sitting next to Buck Williams and the guy next to the dwarf, yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's it. And then the rest of the movie is just, can Nic Cage land the plane,
and also can his daughter
not commit suicide? She just gives,
because she can't get in touch with her dad, so she assumes that the dad's gone. She knows her brother's gone. She knows her mum's gone. So she's like, "What else have I got to live for?" And just as she's about to throw herself off a bridge,
well, there's one other thing that puts her over the edge. She's walking under a bridge, and a guy on a moped steals her handbag.
That's right.
Oh, well, the other thing is that she sees a bus driver for a bridge.
That's
Completely
messed up.
empty.
A school
even though-
bus.
Yeah, you
No
see
less.
the kids' clothes in the back, like flying around. But yeah, an empty school bus full of children that has no children in it.
But why is it
crashes up a
still
bridge.
moving?
I'm not familiar with the Rapture, but is it that all children are pure? Like, is it like if you haven't been because again in my mind of like what the fuck's actually happening in this film, I'm like, well, all the kids are gone, but also some adults are gone, and so why are all the kids gone, but only some adults gone? And I was trying to figure it out, like what the what the rhyme or reason behind it was. But I guess children are pure. Is that the idea?
It's just that they haven't had enough of a chance to be a piece of shit.
Okay,
So
I
like,
see. Yeah.
I'm sure some kids didn't make it because
You
they were
reckon?
just actual cunts. But most kids,
And that was spelled out to you when she went to the hospital. Everyone was going to the hospital because if someone disappears right in front of you, clearly they must have gone to the hospital. So she's gone to search the hospital for her little brother, and there's like a midwife or like a mother who's recently given birth or something, and there's just like fucking babies' cradles everywhere that are empty, and like little
Yeah.
name tags from their wrists that are just sitting in the beds.
yeah.
She's like, they're all gone. All the children, they're gone.
which is like, what do people think heaven really is? Because do you think it's just a bunch of literal newborn crying babies? Because that ain't heaven. Here's my question, and this is how I can prove that heaven is not real, right?
Oh, this will be good. We can clip this for YouTube and put like a big.
So
Declan
if-
owns Christians. Go.
So Mitch, you tell me as the resident religious expert.
Oh, sure.
If I go to heaven, I have like kind of the power to do anything. I can live like my fantasy life right there. So I can be like the best person. I can be like Michael Jordan in basketball.
I
right?
guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes.
So I can be
tracks.
better than Michael Jordan in basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, what if Michael Jordan's in heaven with me? Is he like that guy's suddenly better than me? Like, am I beating Michael Jordan? Because if so, that's not heaven for him.
But isn't it that everyone's experience of heaven is like purely for themselves? So like
So
he's
we're
not
all in, like,
they're
our
all in
own
alternate
fantasy
universes.
world.
You have your own heaven universe.
So you don't have your friends and family. You just have like a facsimile proxy.
No, you
version.
you do. It's just that their version of heaven, that it might be completely different to yours. So it's like you're all dreaming.
Yeah,
Essentially.
they've just got their own version of you. And also, Michael Jordan's not going to heaven.
But not after he wore that Heinz moustache in those ads.
Yeah.
But so you're saying that let's say my version of heaven is it's me, it's Mitch, it's Hayden, it's Morgan, and we're just podcasting
Yeah,
24/7. And you're like, that's fucking horrible. I don't want any part of that. So you've got your own heaven where
In
you're
my
just
heaven, I
like,
come and podcast once every 3 months.
yeah.
But you still get to podcast all the time because in your heaven, I do whatever makes you happiest.
But I've got like a fake proxy Hayden who's podding with me. I've got like a simulated Hayden. Who's
well, yeah, but
podding
you
with
don't know
me.
that I'm simulated because
Yeah.
the facade has to.
But I think even the simulated version would say, dude, I'm a simulation. The real Hayden's podding once every 3 months. And he's here with his family. Who
Well,
he
sure. I
actually
mean, but
wants to be
you
in
just
heaven
put that
with.
down to one of my quirks. Like,
Yeah.
that Hayden,
Oh,
he's
oh,
funny.
classic
Although
Hayden.
it is strange that he podcasts all the fucking time and never sees his
Yeah.
family. Oh, well.
Yeah.
And then you
and
don't
every
think about
time
it.
he shows up, he's so enthusiastic as well, which he never was back in our normal lives.
No, see, heaven wouldn't allow you to have those kind of thoughts, Declan. You'd just be in pure bliss all the time. If you began questioning things, you wouldn't have made it to heaven in the first place. You'd be in
So
hell.
if everyone's in pure bliss, heaven is filled with a lot of cum.
Well, in your heaven, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I mean,
You just-
in
'cause
every
you just want to be-
artistic render.
Surrounded by
What
cum
do you
all the
think-
time.
So
What do
it's
you
not
think those
clouds.
clouds
that,
are?
That's not clouds
No,
that
no,
they're
no.
standing in. They're standing knee deep, gumboot beat deep in cum.
In my heaven, when I come, nothing comes out. There's no mess that comes out. You just have the orgasm, and
What?
it's fantastic. And there's no cleanup required. You're just fine.
But the mess is like the second best part.
The mess is the best part.
well, in your heaven, there's cum everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. In my heaven, there are no bodily fluids whatsoever.
It's all dry orgasm.
It just kind of like goes away. Like you need a shit, it just goes away.
I get to a pretty sticky heaven. I mean, most nights or mornings.
Oh,
or
okay, I see.
Sometimes the middle of the night.
yeah, dude. That rocks.
Sticky heaven.
Don't need to wash your hands in my heaven. Everything's just clean.
So really, heaven is a matrix-like personal simulation.
It's a
You're
personal
really,
matrix. That's
you're
exactly
you're
what it
really
is.
in like locked in some sort of glass cabin on your own, but you've got a VR headset.
But you take with you all of your prior knowledge from your time on this mortal
and
coil.
do you arrive in the body of you in your prime, or you at the age you die? Because I feel like
No,
there's
no,
like a
no.
lot of
You're not understanding. It's whatever you want, Declan. What do you? How do you want to arrive?
You end
Well,
up in the
can I
body
be
of
honest?
Michael Jordan.
Yes, you can be honest.
Firstly, I want to beat Michael Jordan in basketball, and I want him to be there and to feel it, and to be like, this place sucks if this fucking guy's beating me, just dunking on me.
And that's what'll happen, and you won't realize that it's not actually happening because you will be oblivious. Otherwise, you're going to hell.
But I have one last thing that I want to happen, and that's
I already
for-
said they can become everywhere. It's fine.
Yeah, but listen to this one.
Okay.
When I'm in my heaven, I want everyone else to actually be in my heaven and not be fucking proxies. I want them to be locked
Yes,
in my
and this
heaven.
again. I said no. Then you're going to hell.
That's hell.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
It's a catch-22. You can't have it that way.
you can still enjoy that if you're in hell.
You can lose heaven privileges when you're up there. You
No,
can
I'm
be
saying
like,
you won't get there.
Oh,
I'm saying.
but what
So,
if I-
I'm saying if you end up in heaven, you will never, ever. You are not built in a way that you will ever realize that it's a facade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're the kind of person that pulls and tears at the matrix and realizes, hang on, this is fake, you're never
Yeah.
going to get there anyway. You'll just go straight to hell. So you can't
Oh.
make it to heaven.
So what you're saying is curiosity will damn you to hell forever.
Just the wrong kind of curiosity.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the
Kind of
type of people who
if
think
if
about
you're the kind of
the
person
nature of
that
reality.
I'm just saying you'll never get to heaven. So there's no question. There's never any concern that if you go
Yeah,
to
don't worry
heaven,
about it.
that someone's going to like realize it's all a lie, because those kind of people never make it there.
So it's
Yeah.
the people who don't question things, who are just don't think about the nature of reality and just accept blindly
That's
the
correct.
situation they're in. They're
Because
the only
because
ones who go to
that
heaven.
is the archetype of the person who blindly follows, maybe not blindly, but follows a religion and believes and has faith, right? And so when they get to heaven,
They
purely,
need to have that faith that the place they're in is the heaven for everybody.
Well, they don't need to. They already will, because they've had that faith their whole life. And then when they land in heaven, there's no need for them to question it, because they've always known that this is what was coming. And they got it. So they're not surprised and they don't ask questions, because it's exactly what they were always promised.
But
Wow.
okay, so
It's pretty cool, huh?
That brings us
I'm
to
in.
the pasta scene. Not pasta, the
the
priest.
delicious
The
spaghetti bolognese.
spaghetti priest.
Yeah.
He goes to
Which is
church.
really racist, actually.
Right, so yeah, while the daughter is on the land and kind of lost, she goes to a church, and it's empty, of course, but for one old black man.
Well, yeah, and he's the preacher of that church.
Yeah.
And he explains that she's like, but if you were just meant to believe, then why are you still here?
And so
he's like,
this is when I realized what happened. This is where I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, got
He's
it.
like, I only knew the words. I didn't believe that shit.
Yeah, he's like, I could recite it chapter and verse,
yeah.
but literally every second I was saying it, I knew it was bullshit.
I was
He doesn't
just
say
thinking,
that.
I
I was
am
just getting a
making
paycheck,
bank.
bro. I was just
Yeah,
good at
he's like-
public speaking.
It was just a job. I clocked in, clocked out, and then when I was off the clock, I was sinning a lot.
That's right. I may have done some devil worship on my free time.
Yeah, he's like, the stuff I really believe is that dark shit, satanic verses type stuff. Anyway, I think that might be the point where she's like, my whole family's gone. The guy who works in the church is no real help. And then she just goes walking on a bridge alone,
Yep.
and then climbs up the ladder of this bridge. And the way it's intercut is like, you're just seeing like one shot of her like putting her hand on a ladder and then cutting back to Nic Cage for 5 minutes. Next time we see her, it's like not very well worked together. It's not
No.
like the scene to scene, there's no flow. There's no like, oh, good, that scene ends on like a big button and then we jump to this and it, it reacts to what happens or anything. It's just like every now and then we see some shots of her walking, cut back to Nic Cage, shots of her climbing, cut back to Nic Cage. Then we get her on top of this bridge, beautiful sunset. The light does not match her face. We're doing like 360
Yeah.
spins around her on this bridge.
The light's always behind her.
We can see that they've really just built like the very top of the bridge, which is a trick we used in Me and My Mates vs. the Zombie Apocalypse as
Yeah.
well. And they've green screened the background.
It was the
And-
Jim Jeffries shot.
Yeah, and she just goes suicidal. She's just going to jump off this bridge. That's where we see her. Fortunately, at that very second, Nic Cage and Chad Michael Murray, who remember is in love with her because they spoke for a few minutes in the airport, call her and they're like, "Hey, is everything okay?" And then she goes, "Yeah. Are you guys alive? Are you alive? Yes, we're both alive. Okay, now we have like a reason to live." And then they need her to help them land the plane. They're basically like, find us a runway, put some lights there so we have a safe place to land because all the air traffic control is gone and we have no comms or anything. So, yeah, that's the big finale, is a plane landing on an abandoned street that was filled with roadworks.
Okay. So if we can just, before the thrilling finale of landing this plane, there is a scene where Jordan Sparks, known pop star, freaks the fuck out. She finds an air traffic controller that has raptured away, and just takes the gun, and she is whipping it around that cabin.
She seems paranoid that they landed the plane while she was asleep and like kidnapped her daughter, or her husband, the NFL player, kidnapped her daughter. So she's like, "Where's my daughter? Where is he?" And everyone's trying to calm her down
because everyone's just been like it could be aliens.
Yeah, like they're in a circle around her in this plane, and she's just she's almost using the gun as like a talking ball. That's like, when I point the gun at you, you're allowed to talk. So no one else talks unless you have the gun pointed at you.
No one else
so
gets
it's
to
like
talk unless they're holding the bullet.
Yeah. She's whipping it around one by one as they're just, each person is trying to calm her down line by line. "Hey, I think you should put the gun down." "Well, how about I shoot you?" "Look, I think we can maybe talk about this." "Well, how about I shoot you in the head?" And the little person who we have said is a bad person, he's hiding behind this Asian guy as a human shield. He does not want to get shot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then, I don't know, they managed to calm her down and they call in. Meanwhile, Nic Cage has made contact with his daughter and he's like, "Yeah, get us a landing strip." And she goes, "Dad, you can't fuck me." And
well, he can't.
Yeah.
That's why they're remaining in hell. Is the idea of the rapture that the earth then becomes hell? Is that sort of what it is? Because there's lots of looting and there's fires starting and stuff everywhere and shit's falling apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it is meant to be 7 years of darkness. I think they say that in the movie.
I thought they said 7 days. Okay. 7 years.
So, it's meant to be the new dark ages to sort of punish everyone,
Right.
I guess, left.
Yeah.
Is that,
That sounds right. I just didn't
Yeah.
know the length of time.
But we don't get to see any of that. We don't see the sky darken and
This
the
movie
fly out.
ends so strangely. Like, I mean, there's no other way for it to end. But so the plane's running out of fuel. It's a weird movie because they set these characters up on the plane for you to kind of be rooting for them and kind of, aren't you rooting for Nic Cage to land the plane and like there are stakes involved, right?
But
what
I don't
the fuck's
care
the
about
point?
anyone else.
Okay, well, so you want him to land the plane. He does land the plane. Spoiler alert. He manages it. It's really hairy. The plane runs out of fuel and they slowly descend.
Things blow up on the ground.
That's
fire.
right. It screeches along,
crashes.
the wheels fall off, and it screeches along like a road or something and almost catches on fire. And the nose comes within like half a meter of like a massive, like dilapidated
gas
tanker. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the daughter has to move like a cement roller,
Yeah.
like a steamroller.
Is that what
Yeah.
they're called? Steamroller? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, come on. It's just moving really slowly.
Yeah, she's trying to move it out of the way of like blocking this plane. And so the plane comes to a slow halt and its nose like almost tips just these barrels of oil. So we know, which we've seen about 3 times, that fuel is like can light on fire.
Oh, yeah,
in
it
this
just
movie.
explodes.
They make that very
all
clear.
the time.
So then they all land safely. They pop open the slide, the
evacuation slide. Yeah.
And they remind us that the cabin, the main cabin, is full of people that we don't know at all. They show all them, but they're like, no, we really only care about first class. Like, this is a Christian movie. And then they however they fill the air into those slides. It's pretty cool. They just like hit a button and it goes psh and pops open, and then they start sliding down and.
So I just want to take your attention to the top quote, which I will get you to read out.
So this is from IMDb.
It's the top quote of the movie.
Yeah. So fans can write in quotes for their favorite lines in the movie. This one it doesn't, and sometimes they have dialogue, and sometimes they'll have the action line in a square bracket parentheses. And this one just has the square bracket parentheses and says kicks the midget passenger down the escape slide. So that's someone's favorite line or moment that they've submitted to the IMDb.
It's the top one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And it's so out of nowhere. It's just like he's just standing there like taking a breath like, oh, we dropped. And the Muslim guy just comes right up and punts him.
Yeah. And I guess we're meant to feel like he deserved it because he's been a bit of a dick.
Which he was. I mean,
whereas I just thought he deserved it because he's a weirdo. Like, it's weird that he's small.
he did freak out at the Muslim guy on the plane when he's like, I think we should maybe pray. And he's like, pray to who? And he's like, to God.
He goes, your God or my God?
Your God or my God.
So
But he gets punted, so it's fine.
So from the Christian point of view of watching this, are we meant to think that dwarves, midgets, little people deserve bad treatment because they're mostly pieces of shit anyway? Like, that's what it seems to be trying to tell us.
That's what I took away from
That
it.
it's like,
on God, dude, on God.
It's to tell us, every different person is an individual, and
we shouldn't
whether
give them
be
sympathy.
small or large.
Yeah.
They can still be assholes or not
Yeah.
assholes.
Oh, that shit is crazy.
I'm sure there are plenty of midgets. They just need little people. They should have shown more little people clothes that had condensed into thin air.
He even
when
he has
they're
a part
They
where
think
he's
that
like,
we assumed that they're children.
yeah, when he's being all
that's
indignant
true.
about being helped with his baggage, he's like, what do you want? He's looking at the little girl and he's like, what is it? You want to know where I buy my little clothes? Is that it? Like he's just really, I mean, but like, I don't feel like he's a dick. I'm like, he probably has had these questions all his life and he's sick of it. And so, he's turned a
He's
little
done
like
with
aggro.
it. He's got a bit of money because he's in first class. He's like, I don't want to have to deal with this in first class.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I'm assuming he got that money by playing Austin Powers' mini-me character. I don't know. It's not Vern Troyer, but it is a guy that I've seen in Scrubs. I don't know the actor's name, but yeah, he's in a few episodes of Scrubs. He's one of the janitors, like team of kind of henchmen that always tortured JD in Scrubs.
And so the three main characters reunite on the and this is how the film ends. Nic Cage, handsome Mr. Investigative journalist, and the daughter all sort of stand in front of the plane, look out at like the city on fire, and one of them says like, is this how it ends? Or is this the end?
Yeah.
And then one of them says, I think this is just the beginning. A fade to black. Quote from the Bible that was like, I don't know, we don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen one day. Or for we know not what day.
Man may not knoweth, but man will experience. Yeah. I didn't get the context, but I guess they were just saying that like there will be a sequel to this, and that's where the real story will get happening.
Oh, I just thought they were commenting that this is the beginning of the Rapture, and it's just going to be fucking horrible for the next until they die.
I think it could be,
but also
But
maybe,
it being the beginning of the Rapture means that they'll have another movie,
right?
that goes
Which
further
sees
into
these three redeemed somehow. Somehow God made a mistake, and they managed to get to heaven, which, as we talked about before, is filled with cum.
So they tried to make the sequel for a while, and now it seems like they are making one, but I don't think Nicky Whelan is in it. I don't think Chad Michael Murray will be in it, and we know Nic Cage isn't in it because Kevin Sorbo plays his character.
Is it that Nic Cage is just one of these guys who really likes acting, and like, do you think is his deal that he really doesn't care and he's just having fun all the time? And
well, I think with this one, his brother was a big fan of the book. And he is an actual priest himself, so he did it as a favor to his brother, Nic Cage's brother. Okay.
Yeah, and it may have also been in the period of time where he was maybe having financial troubles and needed some.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to be, kind of top of his game right now. Like, he's
had a renaissance
beloved
recently.
Yeah. But this is definitely
during the period of.
Yeah, and but that's the thing. I feel like Mum and Dad came around that time, which is a movie where it's like a zombie virus where all the parents want to kill their children, and he's just an unhinged dad in a house trying to like eat and murder his children. It's great.
Okay.
So like but that's the thing. He's always been doing good work. It's just mixed in with like movies with no budgets that he was just willing to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But also like 80% of this movie is him in the cockpit of a plane with green screen windows. So it's like, show up to a studio,
Easy.
you do your lines. And then maybe he did the whole thing in like a week or something, you know?
I don't imagine it would have taken long. There wasn't any big chunks that needed good.
See, that's the funny thing is even if from the outside, if you're judging someone's career and you're like, oh, he used to be in big movies or the National Treasure movies or whatever, and then you go, oh, now he's in these, and then he's like, dude, I made $1 million for a week's work. Like, even while you thought I was not around or was doing movies no one heard of or no one liked, I still was making a lot of money for like not having to work that much.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever like actually poor.
Yeah.
I think sometimes he was just like, let's just slam out some fake looking movies.
Yeah.
Movies that could easily just be a Photoshop poster of anyone.
And I was interested to know what Chad Michael Murray had done since he did like 9 seasons of One Tree Hill. And it turns out he's doing a lot of these kind of movies as well. Not necessarily Christian, but like Hallmark movies.
Oh, yeah.
And like low budget action movies. You know how Bruce Willis, before it was public that he had like a degenerative brain illness or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that he had a thing.
Yeah, because he
it's
was
come
putting out
now.
like, so it was just one of those things where in the last 5 years, he just started making fucking garbage.
Yeah.
And we were like, why? Like again, it's a bait and switch maneuver where you can put Bruce Willis on the poster.
Yeah.
He can show up for 10 minutes of your movie, and then you can just like slap some shit together in iMovie and put it out on Letterboxd, and people
and he was
eat
doing
that
a
shit
lot of
up.
these because they could obviously get funding, and they would probably pay him like $1 million of their $2 million budget to come in for like a few days, and he would just like not learn his lines and stuff. But Chad Michael Murray has been in 3 of those movies with Bruce Willis in like the last 2 years. So if you look through his IMDb, you'll see a picture on the little poster next to his name of Chad Michael Murray and Bruce Willis on the poster for 3 different movies that all look exactly the same, have a similar kind of title. So he's just doing the same thing where it's like, yeah, I don't have to do a lot of work for these, and I still, I'm still making money.
I'm trying to understand if what you're saying is that like the excuse for doing bad movies is that he's got a degenerative brain disease or disorder, or is it that he's doing that because he needs more money more quick to treat the brain disorder, or is he making bad decisions because of the brain disorder?
Well, I believe it was more like, let me do as much acting, like as little but as much acting as I can to make as much money so I can retire, because he's now officially retired from it. He's just going to hang out with his family as I guess like things get worse and worse.
Okay.
But I do think that in the making of those movies, I don't know how much he was there.
Well, like, why would you care? You're like, you're going to die. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
don't give a shit what people think of my career then.
He had this thing where he couldn't understand kind of words coming in as well. So he had to get an earpiece, and they would feed him the line, and he would just say it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was an article in the LA Times that came out after maybe he I think what happened was, you know how when someone's writing an article about you, they contact you for comment, and then if it's something about you, sometimes you'll just be like, all right, I got to come out and admit this before this article comes out and like own the narrative. So I think Rebel Wilson just did it recently with being outed as being in a relationship with a woman. I think they did that where the LA Times was writing an article about the movies he's doing, and like there was stories in there about like not having good control of the guns and like not knowing his lines and that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, his family came out and he put out a statement basically like a couple of days before this article came out. So, yeah, I think it was also wearing an earpiece, not really knowing your lines, kind of not knowing what's going on in the scene, and then them being like, hey, can you point that gun here? And then you like point it the wrong way and maybe fire it when you shouldn't have and stuff. And so potential
Suddenly
dangerous
you got
things.
Alec Baldwin on your hands.
Yeah. And I think in the article they denied that there had been any like dangerous things on set. But, But yeah, he's also retired completely now. So, Yeah, and Chad Michael Murray's like alongside him in all these movies. So good on him.
He's getting
staying
something
in the
out of
game.
it. Yeah, he's-
handsome guy, and honestly did a good job. Like, I didn't really like his character in this because it was just that kind of like douchey, handsome, charismatic, like nice guy falling in love with the girl. But let's get him down. and make him
let's
do
get him
something
down.
good.
What does that mean?
Let's get him to Australia
down.
and put him in something.
Hey,
Would've been me.
the only Rebel Wilson I want to hear about is the Wilson basketball or volleyball rather that I purchased from Rebel Sport. Rebel Wilson volleyball.
You know, she's
Wilson.
she's doing a lot of work with one of those giant energy drink companies. So she's changed their name to Red Bull Wilson.
I feel like isn't Red Bull Wilson an old thing that has been said on this podcast?
Yeah. We've been doing this so
definitely
long,
said
we
that
might have just
before, I don't know.
reverted back to this.
Well, that's the natural way to end a podcast.
Yeah, that's just a little throwback to our fans who have stuck with us through thin and
How many
thin.
more movies we got? We got to try and finish them off.
I think there's 9 to 10, like maybe,
Yeah.
official on the list.
We got Night of the Living
We've
Dead
also.
2.
Did you guys ever watch Dark Crimes with Jim Carrey? Because I
No,
watched this movie
no.
like 8 months ago, and we've never done
I
the
am
episode.
going
on
to
it.
try and
Sorry.
watch Sonic 2 with the kids later. That
that
has
sounds
Jim
fun.
Carrey in
Yeah.
it.
All right, I'll try. I had a guest lined up for Dark Crimes, and then it's been like 8 months or something.
Yeah.
So, I've got a couple guests lined up as well. So we got to get back into it. This isn't a promise. Who knows when the next episode will come? But the point is, the show's not dead. We've survived COVID.
Yeah.
Have you got COVID
I
yet?
still
Hayden?
am yet to have COVID. I
COVID
don't know if I'm
free.
ever
That'll
gonna
probably
get
put
it.
a dampen on our plans as well. I'm sure we'll be like back in it and we'll be ready to do like 20 episodes,
Mate,
and then you'll get sick
I
again.
couldn't
and be
even.
off for
I
a few
don't
weeks.
have COVID, and I couldn't even drive over like the 20 minutes it takes to get to your house today to make this happen. So, if I have COVID, I'll do it from here again.
Anyway, thanks to everyone who's stuck with us. Thanks for sending us. The mailbox
Oh
is
my
full.
God, so
the
much
post
mail.
box, the PO box is full. All the fans have been clamoring, screaming for them. I'm getting texts. Some of them have got my personal number. I don't appreciate that. I'm talking about you, Sam. Please stop asking me when more episodes are coming out. Here's one, and let that tide you over for the next 6 months. Hopefully we get some more. I've built this podcast studio, and I want to use it.
That is true.
Well,
you do
you
need
know,
to pod in there.
should we do ratings?
Oh yeah.
Let's just give a quick number. Hayden, what do you give this out of 10?
I'm going to give this a 7. I was thoroughly entertained.
And that's
Very,
on
very
the potato
entertaining.
scale. That's not like a movie
no,
scale.
it's not.
That's the
7.
potato scale.
It's more like a 5.
I'm going to give this a 5.7.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's one of the highest. I got to fix up the spreadsheet. It's been a long time since we've added to it. But yeah, this movie was like totally watchable. Definitely boring, definitely corny and cheesy. But like, whatever. It had a good message, and I'm converted. So Mitch, what's your score, buddy?
Oh yeah, I mean, it wasn't. We were saying it was going like nothing else. Like it was watchable to the point, and we laughed a good amount of the movie.
Yeah. And at one point I wanted to see how long was left, and we were like, oh shit, there's only like 20 minutes left. Like, this is...
Were you guys watching it at normal speed?
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
Because I started at the same time as you, and I was multitasking and sending emails at the same time. Had to pause it a couple of times,
Yeah.
but you still finished the movie before me.
That's crazy. It's on Netflix, by the
Yeah.
way, if anyone wants to watch Left Behind, which
Yeah,
Mitch
yeah.
gives what out of 10?
I was gonna give it like a 4 because it is like it's garbage, but
Yeah.
you know the it was a fun time. So let's go like 5.2.
5.2 on the Richter scale. That's the end of the episode. We'll see you next time on Truly Rotten Potato.
Bye.